It's been over 10 minutes, so I can put the cork on the tenon now. It's no big deal if you go over the 10 minutes. You could probably honestly let it go for a couple hours before. You wouldn't really get good adhesion. Don't let it go too long. I wouldn't let it sit overnight or anything like that. And I'd say kind of try to go as close to the 10 minutes as you possibly can, but it's nothing like if you accidentally wait 11 minutes, you got to throw out the cork and start all over again. It's nothing like that. So no big deal if you end up waiting 15, 20 minutes, something like that. So let's put this bad boy together. So we're going to start out with the beveled end. And I like to start on the back side of the clarinet. So above the register key here, above where your thumb would go if you were in playing position. Has nothing to do with functionality. It just makes it look nice because that's where the seam is going to complete. And when the clarinet is lying in the case, you won't be able to see the seam. It'll be seam side down. That's the only reason I do it that way, but I think it looks extra nice. I think it's a nice little touch. Doesn't take any extra time to do, so I like to do it that way. So I'm starting on the back side of the instrument, right above the register key. So remember, we've got contact cement facing us just on the bevel right there, right? We do not want to touch that with our fingers. We've got oils and probably if you're working in a shop, grease and dirt on your fingers. We don't want to compromise the integrity of that little tiny bit of glue right there because we're going to need that at the end when everything wraps around. So I'm going to get it started just by pressing it down with my straight edge. The rest of the cork, totally okay to touch that. That's the part that's going to be facing out. It doesn't need to get glued to anything. Totally okay to touch that. Just don't touch the bevel where the glue is. And then I'm going to slowly work my way around, making sure I'm staying in the channel. And I'm pressing down pretty firm just because I want to make sure that glue like grabs itself, right? Because we've got the contact cement on the tenon, we've got it on the cork, and we need those two parts to really get good adhesion. They really need to stick to each other. I don't want any little air pockets or anything like that in there. Let's go and pushing it. I'm pushing it down pretty hard, probably as hard as I could squeeze down my thumb. If 10 was the hardest I could squeeze down, I'm probably pushing about 7, I would say. So fairly hard. I'm pushing down with my thumb until I get all the way around, and it's going to overlap and go right over that bevel. All right, and now we gotta trim the tail off here. You know, razor blade here. Err on the side of caution with this. If you gouge in too deep and you cut off an extra chunk of cork, you got to start all over again. All right, so there's my cut. Obviously, we still got that little nub right there. No problem. We got to sand this thing anyway to make sure that the barrel can fit on, because right now, the cork's too big. It's not going to go on. So we've got to sand it anyway. So that little nub right there, not a big deal, because we gotta sand regardless. So don't worry about that and try to trim it down to nothing. So you're going to be sorry if you trim it a little too far, because you got to start this whole process over again. And let's see, I'll do a separate video for the sanding process.